Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your captain and host, Julian Brown, and this episode of the pod is fueled by Ted Cruz's meltdown tears over Stacey Abrams being in the Discovery finale.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy, you guys. That's all.
Bottled his tears for tonight, you know?
Yeah, let's bottle those tears.
They're good warmed.
Indeed. Delicious. Alongside me, as always, is the best bridge crew that I would gladly ride in a high-speed chase with throughout LA. Our resident jack of all trades and the man who keeps our comms open, Vice Admiral Eric, the board queen of puns. She wasn't here the past couple of weeks, but Eric handed out promotions, so she gets a promotion too. Lieutenant Commander Brittany Tomes. Ooh. Patrick Stewart's interview double, Lieutenant Commander Hawk, and currently going through Kelvinverse theory withdrawal, Captain Giraffe. Welcome, Jolan True. How we doing this week?
There's always room for more Kelvinverse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there?
There is.
Always fit it in there somewhere.
Yes. That's why you hired me.
You sprinkle it in.
Maybe that's one of the.
You get paid.
Maybe that's what Picard's leading towards. They're changing everything to go towards the Kelvinverse.
Brittany, it's the 24th century. No one gets paid. Come on.
It's true.
That's what all the employers say.
That's what they all say. Guys, this week we're here to review episode 204 of Star Trek Picard Watcher, with Rios detained by ICE. Raffi and Seven race to rescue him. Meanwhile, Picard seeks out the Watcher, aptly titled because that's the episode title, and finds the help from a very old friend. And when we mean very old, she is very old. Is she, though? We don't know. How old is Guinan? Let's just get it out of the way. This is a spoiler show.
You don't ask.
You don't.
Don't ask a lady that.
You don't ask. It's true.
Yeah. She's timeless.
Guinan is ageless.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Could you say she's timeless?
Oh. I said timeless already.
Oh, did you? Shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's cool.
I'm gonna button myself.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, God, that's the wrong button. I was on the wrong page.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie. Speaking of Bonnie Gordon, I think she's going to be in Chicago. So that's cool. Yeah. So there you go. Let me do that again. I'm going to button myself.
Get off my bridge.
There it is.
Good.
That's better. We are going to break down episode 204 and all of that fun stuff. But before I do that, I am going to hand over the con to Brittany, our resident board queen of puns, because she has a special announcement she would like to make. So the con is yours, Brittany. Take it away.
Greetings, friends, listeners, wonderful people of Star Trek who have watched our show for a long time. I come with bittersweet news. So this will unfortunately be my last live show with the podcast. I'm moving forward with my voice acting career and want to put a lot of time into workshops and auditions, and wouldn't be fair to not be here for the pod as much or, put it on the back burner. So I am gracefully stepping down. But I will say that it's been an honor and a privilege to, one, review Star Trek and have so much fun with all my lovely co-hosts. And shout out to Aaron, who's not here. And then also, I love this community. I love all of you. And I understand if, you don't want to follow me on social media anymore because I won't be as following or posting about Star Trek. That's fine. No hard feelings. But if you want to continue to follow me on my journey through voice acting and love my memes or just really terrible puns, then continue to follow me. Regardless, I won't be just disappearing into the ether. I'll still be on the Discord. I'll joke around. I'm still going to be watching Star Trek. Just won't be showing up here live for you every Thursday. So,
Are you f***ing kidding me?
Sorry.
That are you fucking kidding me isn't actually because you're leaving, even though we will miss you very much. The door is very much always open for you whenever you'd like to join us to review Star Trek. That are you fucking kidding me is for you best follow this girl on social media because she is hilarious as hell. She's an amazing voice actor, whatever you want to call her. She's going to make an awesome fucking career. And yeah, you should follow her for sure. So don't hit that unfollow button.
And maybe
Brittany,
one day, maybe I'll be on a Star Trek animated series, and then it'll come full circle.
All of them.
Right?
The truth is, Brittany isn't actually allowed to say she's using the voice acting thing as a cover. She's not allowed to say it, but where she's really going is Starbase 80. So She just
Now
couldn't
they
really
know.
talk about
Great,
that.
now
No.
my
Section
NDA is
31
broken.
agent.
Yeah,
Then it-
Section 31.
Yeah.
I'd love to see your fan theories later.
It's on the
Tweet them
internet.
At me, wherever you think I'm going. But yeah, so, life happens.
Don't worry. I'll add a command. Exclamation point unsub for Brittany. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Make
wow.
it easier to unfollow her.
I just didn't want people to feel compelled to, if they followed me just for Star Trek stuff.
Compel,
Like,
Andrew
now she's
commands
boring. It
you.
only talks about this other stuff, not Star Trek.
You
I'll
mean
still
that
post about
other
gay
nerdy
Star Trek
stuff?
shit.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't want them to feel that way. I don't know.
It's not like Brittany's not completely hot for the Raffi 7 gay energy.
Listen, we'll talk about it tonight.
So. We will indeed. We will indeed. Speaking of, we are going to get to our review of episode 204 Watcher very shortly. But first, we have to thank our Patreon Collective members at the Ready Room level and above. And Britt, since you are headed to Starbase 80 for bigger and better things, why don't you go ahead and read that list off for the final time?
Gonna stretch first. Just kidding. I don't need to. Special thanks, one final time, to Simon Stager, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Hui, Haven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Amy Grace, Laura Linderman, Reasonable Stranger, Colin Davidson, Susie, Jesse Desmond, and Alan Davis.
Woo woo! Thank you for your support. I'm gonna say this every week until we get that one. We're at 24. That's where we've been. Just one more. And Eric said it last week. I think it is better if it's pre-recorded so we don't sound like hot garbage. We are gonna sing "Where My Heart Will Take Me" for you people with one more patron.
I want to issue a formal complaint that I want Brit and Erin to sing too.
Oh no, I was gonna say, you call me up when that happens.
Thank you.
I will hop
Yes.
in, I'll join, we'll make a mixtape, and yeah, it'll be great.
And if it happens before Chicago, they'll do it live.
See, he
Shut
keeps saying
up.
that, and that's just not true.
Up.
As he leaves the camera, yeah. I mean, okay. I
At
should
least
say
I can hold the lyrics in front of me.
if Giraffe and I, because Brittany doesn't drink, but she'll just laugh at us. If Giraffe and I go full Annika 7 shots, then maybe we'll do it in Chicago. But that's a lot of shots. So.
Giraffe.
I'll take 7 shots of chocolate milk, and that's basically
There
the same
you
for
go.
me.
There
There
is
you
no
hype.
alcohol that I can shot 7 times that will make me sing. Let's just that
Rum. Come on.
Draft's
rum.
like, I'm a sad drunk. I don't get fun. It's
Guys,
supposed to be laughable,
I
but
laughed. I gave a hint of a laugh. Brittany, before we get to the Strange Loop, I just want to say you did say this is your last live show, which is true. This is your last live show. We are going to be recording a Picard review episode the first night in Chicago on Thursday. We're still figuring out how that's going to happen. So you will hear Brittany on the show at least one more time. So if you haven't noticed, by the way, some fancy
Yeah, what's
fancy
going
hoodies.
on?
What's going on here?
Yeah.
You keep
Designed
touching
by,
yourself. Weird.
That's because these
I gotta give the people what
hoodies
they want. Hold on.
are so
You can zip it slowly.
fucking hot. Not like I'm dying hot. Like they're sexy because Eric designed them. And we have these awesome Starfleet command chains, which you can't see, the zippers. But if you're going to be in Chicago and we're not in cosplay, we will almost likely be wearing these. Draft is getting one too. I just have to hand it to her when we're in Chicago. And they have a really cool logo on the back, which you've seen, which is our sticker that we're going to be handing out to people in Chicago. Eric killed it with these.
Should
Bravo,
have should have
sir.
back.
They're very comfy too.
Definitely.
Do I
should.
have to?
back.
Okay.
I made the
I
sweaters
wanna
by
see
hand.
it.
Yeah, please.
Can you see it?
Oh, I was gonna turn around.
Ooh,
it's black by the
sexy.
Spotting, it hurts. It doesn't hurt. I've been working out. That's a lie. So yeah, look for us in these phantasmal hoodies. Let's get to it, guys. It is time for the Strange New Loop. And if you had the opportunity to play the Borg Queen, and by play, I mean specifically asking her for her help and then going back on your word, kind of like Agnes did in this episode, would you play that card? Why or why not?
I'll go,
Go ahead,
first.
Hawk.
Fuck no. It's the Borg Queen.
I want
What
to
is happening?
I want a
with the
sound clip of
Britons?
Hawk saying "fuck no."
Are you kidding me?
Look, it's the Borg Queen and that. She has plans upon plans and that. Currently, as we're seeing her now, she's tied up like a puppet on a string and that without any interface with the computers and that. But that's going to change at some point. And when it does, if you actually went back on your word to her, you know, whatever she's going to do, she's going to make it hurt a lot worse.
That's the damn truth.
I'd totally do it. You know why? Because
Ooh.
okay, listen. If you're really already into an interaction with the Borg Queen, you're kind of fucked. Like
Yeah.
That's a good point.
she's gonna. I mean, so try to get something out of it, at least, I suppose. Yeah, I totally do it.
Yeah,
No
man.
tomorrows.
I
Whatever.
like the two
YOLO.
different directions of fucked we are here. Like, nobody can answer without the word fuck in there. Fuck no. Fuck yes. Either way, you're fucked.
Eh. Yeah, let's do it. That'd be fun. Why not? I would love to see a cross dimensions and universes, even for a glimpse, and then feel that sadness of leaving her. Just like the
I want that
cutest.
kind of connection in
I
life.
do want it.
Okay.
You see, I won't say yes or no. I will say that I wouldn't have to play any card. I would just be her friend.
Mm.
And then the power of my friendship would win her over and change her dastardly ways. It's like what I do to everybody. You know, you don't expect to be my friend, and then next thing you know, like 2 years down the line, you're just like, damn, I've been friends with Brittany like this whole time.
That's how
I
it
know,
worked with us.
It's like
I
it's
don't
like a
know.
void. It's a void.
Yeah. It's like within an hour of meeting me, you're just like, wait, we're friends now.
That's actually
Great.
very accurate.
Yeah.
Oh my
Very
god,
accurate.
It's
did
never
we just become brothers?
explicitly said. I just worm my way in.
Are we best
interviewed
friends
her,
now?
and then like we were
Yeah.
friends, and all of a sudden she was on our podcast talking about fucking The Rock and San Andreas. So
And then he was like, shit, I think I just got a co-host.
Man, it'd be so cool.
Right? I just
to
worm
be The
my
Rock
way
and
in,
San
so-
Andreas.
No, I was just thinking about
That too.
being friends with the Borg Queen.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, she can play those mind games all she wants, but guess what? I already play them. No,
Doesn't
one's,
mean-
no one's gonna fool me more than myself. So, like, go ahead, throw your shade at me. I'll be like, you haven't seen the darkest parts of my mind, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Read
are you
you
gonna
for
call
filth.
Brittany? Are you really gonna call the Borg Queen ma'am?
Dude.
She has
Yes.
manners, of course.
I said, ma'am. If it's Annie, yes.
Excuse me, Miss Borg Queen, ma'am. Can I have a word, please, for a moment?
No,
Oh,
I would just make lots of jokes. If I were to play a card, it would be a card game. Next thing you know, boom.
Would it be 4 queens or Qs?
Oh.
I love
Do
just
it-
the slow shaking of the heads.
Oh,
Just shut up.
I'll do it to myself. I'm sorry.
It would be go fish for no reason.
Go fish. I love it. Hawk, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to ask if Brittany, for, you know, just for me personally, could say ma'am in the Clarice Starling voice.
Mrs. Lecter, ma'am? No, you ate yours, didn't you, sir?
And this is
I
why
watched
she's
that
leaving
movie
the show and going into voice acting, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, Jodie Foster is an icon.
She is. She
I will
is.
do the
That's right.
Clarice Starling voice anytime.
Yes, ma'am.
We have some
Was
great
your father
answers.
a coal miner? Did he stink of the lamb? I can say that whole movie. I love it.
Table read.
He was a decent
Um,
man.
Not on this show.
That's her uncle. Her uncle.
I just
uncle
like
was a
to
decent
see
man. He
all
was a
the-
good man, a decent man. It was the lambs. You see, he was gonna kill him. I'm done.
I'm very lost. I have
I'll-
no idea what's going on.
As she says in Contact, I'm good to go.
Good to go. Good to go.
Giraffe is
some-
just like, what's going on?
I have not
I
seen
just
these
wanted
movies.
to say I'm very happy to see in the chat that everybody's like, I agree with Giraffe. Thank you. That's why I'm here.
It is. I'm
Giraffe
gonna
was
read
right.
some.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna read some of these hot takes, mostly which are the hashtag Giraffe is right. Haven writes, I would do it as well. I am in full agreement with Giraffe. All right, Captain Rowe, who I believe is not only a new Discord member but a first-time Twitch live watcher. So welcome, Captain Rowe. It's awesome to have you.
I
It's
say
been cool.
hero.
Oh, boo.
Did you say hero?
Get off my bridge.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
I agree,
know.
Giraffe. I'd be
Hero?
I thought it was goofy.
Hello.
It's my last show. Let me do what I want.
I'll do what I want.
Katarura writes, I agree, Giraffe. I'd heckin' be like, hi, queen. Hi, bitch. Let's play Scrabble.
God, yes. With Annie Wershing? Yes, I would.
I'd play Scrabble with Annie
Wouldn't it be
Wershing.
Borgle? Like,
Or
like
Boggle?
Borgle? That's what I meant.
Borgle? Yeah, Borgle Boggle. Yeah.
Yeah, board games. You play board
Board
games.
game- board
together.
games.
Oh my god, guys.
This show is going way too fast for me.
Where's the subtitles?
It's like, have you noticed how silent I am because I'm trying to
Giraffe is translating all my jokes.
I think we just lost
We lost
Giraffe's
your audio.
too.
You lost your
Giraffe
audio.
lost her
Giraffe.
audio. While Giraffe's getting
Wait,
her
did you say
audio back.
Giradio?
Giradio.
We lost Giradio?
Kataro also writes, I'd also like to ask her about her life before she was assimilated. Oh, wow, my thing did not update. Holy crap.
Someone in
here
the
we go.
chat said, I love you. I love you too, random citizen.
Until you get assimilated, Brittany, and she turns on you, says Galaxy Star Queen 77.
I mean, I hope she turns.
yep.
You know what I mean? What?
Ooh.
How? Annie, don't watch this.
man. Butch Lapue writes, you need a true Southerner
Ow.
to do those lines. You're back. You're good.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, Galaxy Star Queen 77 does write, Brittany, lol, I love you, which is true. I'll just get to my answer, which is hell no.
What?
Hell no. No, hell no, I wouldn't do it. No. I saw First
Colin has
Contact.
too much to lose.
I saw First Contact. I saw people get assimilated in Voyager. I know Annika Hansen's parents. They made bad decisions. They brought their daughter to the Delta Quadrant, and look what happened. Poor Annika, right? She's like on one of those like Dateline episodes. What happened to Annika Hansen?
She seems
Tonight.
to be in a pretty.
On
I know-
Dateline.
I know
She's
that
fine
reference.
now.
I know that
See?
reference.
Okay. No, I would not make a deal with the Borg Queen, though. At the same time, I would not pull an Agnes Girardi. Oh wait, I'm gonna be quiet now.
No. She still is playing with the Borg Queen, so it makes sense.
No.
He was
She
gonna
no.
reference a future thing.
I was gonna reference a future thing. I will say at a current thing that kind of
I'm lost again.
goes. You haven't watched the next episode. That goes into this episode because Picard and Girardi both do it in this episode. Are you fucking kidding me? The both of you? And we're gonna get into this in the episode, but this pertains to the question. You're both gonna go into the chateau, drink some wine, and leave the fucking Borg Queen on the ship by yourself? Are you fucking kidding me?
I haven't closed the door.
Come on,
Well,
man.
but okay,
kinda
wait.
hanging, you know?
If you're
hanging
already
out.
in the situation that you're discussing with the Borg Queen and you're like thinking, can I like, like strike a deal? You're already in a very bad situation. Like,
Yeah.
why the fuck are you talking with the Borg Queen to start with?
I
Like,
mean, that's a good point.
Why didn't they
That's a very
fix
good
the containment unit first? Like,
Because it looks
Also
cool with her
a
just
good
hanging
point.
there.
trying to fix the ship, no?
yeah, I
Yes.
think the containment system would probably be one of the top ones.
I just have to
I
say that the moment where she face planted was one of the
Hilarious.
most beautiful moments
so
of Star
funny.
Trek ever. Of like 800
Oh,
episode, I
man.
was like,
That's years of karma coming back on her.
Incredible.
This is getting into episode review territory, which we're about to get into, but Buick Space Wagon brings up a great point. There is no way that decrepit castle is warmer than an enclosed starship, which
Well, they're burning
No.
shit, aren't they?
Yes,
But-
they are.
but it's way creepier to be in an empty ship with the fucking Borg Queen hanging there than in
Touche.
an empty castle with a fire. I'd be like, fuck you. I'm going there.
You can feel like Snyderverse Batman. Decrepit castle, burning shit.
decrepit Wayne Manor. That's true. Guys, let's get right into it because we're getting into that territory anyway. It is episode 204 of Star Trek Picard. Watcher, it is our review. Brittany, your final episode thoughts live. Give it to us. What did you think of 204?
Season 2 of Star Trek Picard has given me the only thing I need, which is the gay banter of these two lovely ladies, Raffi and Seven. That being said, every episode I've really enjoyed of this show, and this one was fun. I do want to see them beat the shit out of the ice agents. So I was a little bummed that didn't happen this episode. I was like, really? We're just waiting? But yeah, I love a good high-speed chase. I love transporter shenanigans. I love any moments between the Borg Queen and Girardi because they're just good. I like it. And yeah, I loved seeing past Guinan, young Guinan. I think
Who
the actors
knows?
did a really good job because I was like, yeah, this feels like Guinan. At first, I was like, you didn't just de-age Whoopi.
That's what I said.
At the same time,
And who said
it'd
they're
probably be
gonna
distracting.
catch somebody else? And we were like, no,
Yeah.
they won't. And I was like,
Did we disagree with you?
I don't think that happened.
I don't think that happened. I
That
think you're
absolutely
making
happened.
That's your
things
head
up.
canon.
no.
I believe you. I just don't recall. Were you talking to me?
No, I think she's talking to all of us.
Yeah, I was talking to everybody.
It
Sorry.
probably happened in a chat. I don't know if it happened live on the
Did it happen on the
Maybe.
show? I don't remember
Maybe.
that being in a show.
Chat,
there.
let us know.
Chat,
Yeah.
let us know. Did Giraffe predict this? I want to
can
know.
find it.
I
If
loved-
it's in the
I loved
chat,
the
I find
writing.
it.
Go through the transcripts.
I love the writing in this episode, and I loved, them pointing out the horrors of the society we currently live in. And we all know, and Star Trek has pointed out before, that they're like, oh man, that era gets really bad before it gets better. And we're like, please tell us it gets better, because it just keeps getting worse. So I like that they show, the real horrors of ice. They're fucking terrible. And let me tell you, I learned French and Spanish in college, and then I went to leave, and I was like, I'm gonna change the world with my language skills. UN wouldn't hire me for anything than unpaid positions, and I'd have to live in New York, and then the only people that wanted me were ICE. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna arrest Spanish speakers. Why would I do that for a language and culture that I love? This is ridiculous. So I told them to fuck off.
Correct answer, by the way,
Guys,
for everybody listening. Yeah.
Yeah, but they handled it in a really good way. It's gonna obviously piss some terrible people off that don't care about Trek to begin with, but they did it well. So that's my review.
Before we move on to everybody else's thoughts, Mag brings up a great point in the chat, and this has actually been highly debated on Twitter today. Mag asks, isn't she alternate Guinan? To which the answer
No.
is very
No.
unclear.
No.
I know the answer is no, and I mainly agree with no, mainly because of a lot of the answers she's getting on Twitch, which is no, she's not alternate Guinan. The timeline hasn't diverged yet, which is the truth. That being said, there's some debate here. Giraffe, I agree with you. I see you point your finger, but I do agree with you. That being said, they are coming from the past of a timeline that is bad already. So the idea here is that Picard never met, Timeless didn't, or not Timeless,
Time Zero.
Time's Arrow never happened.
Too many
Picard and
times.
Jean-Luc never met
Because the Federation never happened.
because the Federation never happened. So this is
That's
Say
confusing.
Picard and Jean-Luc never met?
no,
No,
did I? I
Guinan.
might have
No,
said that.
you said Guinan and Picard.
Guinan and
Okay.
Jean-Luc never met.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a hot debate about this. I am along the lines of that they've gone into the past where. Okay, so she was
They're in the
this
past
episode.
of the alternate timeline, is
They
what you're
are.
saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they aren't because the divergence hasn't happened
Are
yet.
you
So
saying
this is
that
still
instead
prime
of 10 forward,
Guinan.
they're going 10 backward?
But
Correct.
as long as the future has not happened, she
It is-
cannot meet Picard in the past.
Correct.
Because
Which is
Picard and the Enterprise Z has not happened, the meeting cannot exist.
Yeah,
God,
classic causality loop, we know.
which
that.
is exactly why Voyage Home guy is still on the bus. Punk rock guy is still on
He
the bus.
hasn't left the
older,
bus.
and He never left
He
the
really
bus.
hasn't. He's still rocking that same
And
ghetto
is
blaster.
a nicer guy because Spock.
And he's
Vulcan
not in
nerfed him.
San Francisco for some reason.
And yeah, he
He's in
moved to
LA
LA.
now.
He went to LA with
He
his
just went
punk
on a
rock.
bus that just kept going.
Yeah, it actually
my
goes
favorite.
from San Francisco to LA and back.
So Mag also follows that up with, because a lot of the talking going on Twitch makes my head hurt.
It does. That's why
Time,
they got. That's why they got
baby.
Leah
Timey-wimey
Thompson
stuff,
to
dude.
come and do
But
this, right?
but no better director than Leah Thompson to direct these past two episodes.
I just
right?
said-
Eric's
So-
like, I just said this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, I'm just repeating it. I know you said it. No, I know you said it, but perfect. Hawk, up to you. Your thoughts on this
So,
episode.
another great episode of Picard as the search for the Watcher bears unexpected fruit. Seven and Raffi search for Rios in the aftermath of
fruit.
the ice raid. Girardi tries bargaining with the Queen while she in turn just keeps digging her hooks further and further into the Doctor. And Picard meets Guinan in a very precarious place in her life. This episode had a lot of moving parts to it, but it gave everybody in the show just the right amount of time to shine in that. So, and again, thanks to Leah Thompson and her direction and that. She's been fantastic.
She really has been. She's been really good. To follow up on that real quick, Hawk, if you haven't watched this week's Ready Room, Leia Thompson's on it with Will Wheaton.
She's adorable.
Check that out.
Adorable.
Yeah, nice. How could she not be?
I know, right?
So Ito Aguera steps into the role of a Gaiden. Shout out to Canada. She was originally from Alberta, by the way.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's still part of Canada.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding, Albertans.
Canada division, baby.
See, we do it. We do it too. So she steps into the role of Gaiden, who's in the midst of leaving Earth, and it's shocking to see her this way. Because Guinan's always been the de facto counselor to Picard and like so many others on the TNG crew and that. And you see her having reached her limits with humanity's worst aspects of itself. It's a little disheartening. It's interesting to see the same sense of time displacement effect that Guinan experienced in yesterday's Enterprise in this episode too, as Picard repeated back the words to her that she would say to him 400 years from now to give him comfort in his time of need. And it's just wow, it is just timey-wimey stuff.
That same effect happens to me when somebody repeats my pun right after me. I just get sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh god.
I just said that. I can see that. Who knew that Raffi and Seven was the buddy cop duo that we always needed?
Yep. That's
It
all
was
we need.
amazing.
I'll take a
I
whole
don't
second,
know how
really.
this got here. Nope, don't know.
You can tell they're in love. Like I just love that about them. Like you
Yes.
could just tell.
I feel anyway being married is like 75% of fighting in a car about how somebody's driving.
I'm gonna
That's
be
intense.
we don't fight in the car.
No, not fighting. You criticize.
Well,
you're
it's like anywhere else.
Criticizing driving?
Let's go.
Brittany's
Truck,
right though.
truck,
Brittany's right
truck,
though. Anywhere else is
truck.
fair game. Truck. Yeah, no, good point. No, we don't fight in the car. We fight
Blind
everywhere
spot!
else.
Blind spot!
Yep.
I just love that they're like, fuck the police. Like, let's come together. They're so chaotic. They're like enemies of the law, and I love it. She showed up and was yelling at LAPD, and I was like, fair enough, they should get yelled at. But then she was also like, they don't know anything about ICE, though. I'm like, don't they?
It's total. I'm sure Hawk will agree with this. Maybe everybody agrees. It's total Chekhov Voyage Home vibes when he's asking where the nuclear vessels
The
are.
nuclear whistle.
You know, like where
vessel?
are the detained ICE? You know, people. Like where
ICE
are they?
detainees.
Yeah, ICE. Thank you, Brittany. That
That's
one.
okay.
Have
man.
you met LAPD? Like I was not surprised at all by that section.
Oh no, I
Oh
was
no,
surprised.
not
I was like-
surprised that they no.
All police are the same.
Where did we-
Hawk's like, I don't know how
Hawk's
to
like,
go from
segue,
here.
I don't live in America.
Speaking of which, as if
Our
hearing
police wear funny hats.
No, they don't.
as if hearing about Ted Cruz's annoyance at Stacey Abrams' appearance on Discovery, and that as the president of Earth, and the lack of recognition of his own contributions to American society, Picard this week has honored him with an inside look at an ICE detention facility. So, congratulations, buddy.
I look forward to his meltdown about that next.
I love the
Oh.
shade.
There's so many people melting down about this already, and I'm just like,
I will add to that
The
that the
irony
block.
of melting down about ICE.
I
was
nice. It was just here, and we couldn't see it. See?
I love the applause. That reminds me of like. Okay, never mind. We're good.
No, say it.
No, it's just like Orson Welles, just like the only one clapping in the room,
Right.
and everybody else is like, "Okay, man." Just
I mean,
Going off.
those ICE detention facilities in Picard at least had mats on the ground.
And heat
mean-
lamps. Yeah.
I'm
Mm.
I'm gonna get
I
into
know.
this.
No.
I'm gonna get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rios is facing deportation or worse at the hands of ICE agents and that. And as usual, he handles it with his usual aplomb. He's commenting on the Pledge of Allegiance placard, as this like loathsome ICE officer attempts to get a detainee to sign his own deportation papers and that.
That was weird.
Oh,
That was awkward.
that turned my stomach.
It was.
what they do though.
They do
Mm.
100%. That is.
Yeah.
That was Donald Trump 2016 through 2020. Like 100%.
Oh yeah. And manipulate people on their own ignorance of the laws and that. Yeah. Anyways, but Rios, he may be the punching bag in this show, like as we've seen before in that. But I love the way Santiago Cabrera handles it. He's just
His falls are great.
just his grace and his wit through like every scene
I
he's
liked
in.
when he
It's
got
just
stunned.
great.
I was like, yeah, he really went off here.
Mhm.
Just flailing on the ground. Like, I was like, that was believable.
Yeah, it was
10 out of 10.
Why does
But
the
I have
past
to
have to hurt
say-
so
He didn't
much?
pee himself, though. He didn't pee himself.
that we
don't know
saw.
that.
Not quite there.
Yeah.
I mean,
He might have.
you should see it.
He has future
But he
pants.
was-
He
anyways,
absorbed
he was.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought up pee. We're all adults here.
I
I don't know what's up with
Are we?
Just waiting with my theory book. That's all. I'm just here. I'm waiting. Like
You're almost up. You're almost up. The Hawk's
I know.
almost.
teacher mode engaged.
Yeah, I'm almost done. We'll obviously be talking about the Watcher later in that. But like the most standout scene for me was the final one with Q. What is happening in that? Like the whole thing he was talking about. Was he talking about Picard? Was he talking to Picard? Was he repeating the words of the Dixon Hill novel? The one we
Yeah,
were
I
reading
thought that was what you were
verbatim?
doing.
I would think. I strongly thought that was. By the way, did you see the author's name on it?
Yeah,
No.
I
Who was
wrote
it?
it down and I looked it up, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But now I cannot
go
find
ahead,
it
Giraffe.
like crazy. Where is it written? It's written. I wrote somewhere. Torme, is she writer in TNG, right?
There you go.
The writer who wrote The Big
Oh,
Goodbye
yeah.
in season 1, which
That's
actually
awesome.
netted the series its first Emmy, I believe.
Well, yeah,
Ooh.
and Agnes just like saying straight up to Jean-Luc, like, "Look at you, Dixon Hill." Love that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I have so many Easter eggs, by the way. I have like 4 pages of them.
Hawk, are you good?
And with that, I think it's time Giraffe gets into her.
Giraffe's pulling out
Okay.
the
Giraffe.
book.
Okay, so first of all, I have to say,
First of
Picard.
all,
Lizard
It was a-
babies.
Yes, hello. It was an excellent episode. It was so good.
Mm.
I can't wait for next week. I'm so excited. And just why did they put coordinates in the show that we could read and listen and look up and be the
And they
wrong
weren't, right?
coordinate and they weren't here? Like I'm so confused about this.
They were like,
because
the nerds don't care that much. And then
Maybe.
we were like, you're wrong.
can I quickly
Yeah.
sidebar on that, Giraffe?
yeah.
I was watching SVU yesterday,
that?
and they were Law and Order SVU, Special Victims Unit. No,
Oh, Tun Tun.
dun dun. Yeah, exactly.
I know what it is.
And they were raiding a abandoned hospital basement, and the address was 70-33 113th Street, Forest Hills, New York. I grew up at 72-38 113th Street, and I'm like, I was only at that address until I was like 16, and then moving back and forth from boarding school a lot. But I don't remember an abandoned like a hospital. So
it's always
Man,
fake.
things
I
have
know,
changed.
but I texted Karen, and I was like, dude, this is like right by where I grew up. And well, I probably shouldn't say that on live, but I'll anyway. I was about to do something bad. Twitch. So Karen was like, "Oh, that's so creepy." Anyway, I googled, and it's like all just like residential homes and apartment, which is I think is what the result you got when.
No,
when
no,
you
it's
looked
not
it
that.
up,
It's
right?
like he obviously crashed in France, and the coordinates are in LA
Yeah,
in a vineyard, which is cool. It's fun, but you could have totally like put a
False
coordinate in
advertising.
France. Anyway,
What if those coordinates
so-
have like a special thing for fans? Like if a fan goes there and they find like a little package. They do that sometimes for some
Perhaps,
shows,
like, I'm
right?
going tomorrow.
this weekend I'm in LA, guys. You want to have a drink? Okay, so I like that we see a little bit more, and we know about his family that he's actually French, but he grew up in England. Thank you, Star
was
Trek.
funny.
That actually makes sense.
and he's a Jew. He's a
how?
Jew. Yeah.
How do you know that?
I just love the dead silence after that.
I was
Because-
actually I was so
they hid in
confused.
the.
Julian
so-
dropped the mic.
So Picard mentions to Girardi that his family would have to hide out in the in the tunnels of Chateau Picard.
Yeah, but
during
during World War II, many people hide in the tunnels. Like
a lot of people
lot
got
of
the same
people.
idea that the Picards might be Jews. I'm supporting
So
the idea.
actually,
I
in my
think they bombed
region,
all of France,
Maybe.
though.
they hide it into the tunnels under the vineyards because they hide the wine.
Oh yeah,
hide,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
We must
then-
protect the wine.
They bombed so much of France that like it's
I will
not
tell you
relevant.
off live the kind of jokes that people say. Don't worry.
Do it live.
Yeah. No, I won't. Because I don't agree. So what was I saying? Yeah, I wanted to see more of the flashbacks. Like, there's something going on with the mom, and I feel like there's like some hints, but I couldn't pause my TV. So if somebody watches the flashbacks and like,
We know she likes Edith Piaf.
yeah, so that's my that's my
French
last
of her.
thing.
I
No,
know.
wait. That song is so not PG, by the way. Like, calming
Yeah,
a
it's
kid
not.
with that song, you're like,
Yeah, like if
have
you
you listened to the lyrics?
No, they
like-
just see the line like "Je ne regrette rien," and they're like, "This is gonna be great. It's all about like I don't regret anything," and you're just like,
What aren't you regretting though? What aren't you
Yeah.
regretting? It's all.
"You're
Yeah, and she's like,
Oh.
and I say fuck you to the past, and you're like, yeah, I mean, okay, good life
makes
It's like
lesson
sense.
for a
verse
10-year-old.
2, and you're like, verse 2?
Yeah.
I just want to draft real quick. I just want to acknowledge in the chat that there's a lot of 12 Monkeys talk happening right now because Terry Matalis
Oh,
was a
yeah.
showrunner on 12 Monkeys, and one of the I only know this because he mentioned on Twitter because I've never watched 12 Monkeys, but I
Love 12 Monkeys.
watched religiously a stupid ass show on TV, Impractical Jokers, and Q from
Yeah.
Impractical Jokers is the one who takes Guinan's dog, and I love him and I love
Well, I
that he's
thought
on
it
the
was
show, and he was
interesting
in
because
12.
it's Q that shows up.
Right.
And I was like,
Quinn.
Quinn. Yep. So anyway, that's it. Sorry, keep going.
Okay, no, Isa Briones. Where is she? I'm
Yeah,
waiting for her.
That is
More.
my question. Is she just
I
not in the
don't know.
season?
They're most probably gonna show her like as somebody or like I don't know, but
Maybe she's just not.
where is she? We got Laris. We got Laris back.
Yeah.
Check. Where is
Elaine's
Isa
pretending
Briones?
not to know.
So is there?
Isa
Such a
Briones
space.
isn't even listed in the credits.
I don't know what you're
for the-
talking about.
Don't know anything.
You're annoying.
Anyway,
Okay, you should be banned.
Oh, look
I'm
at
gonna
this. Look at
ban
my
you.
phone.
Give
He's
me the
giving it
button.
away.
Give me the button and let me push. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, Agnes
Oh,
was
that's red alert.
Agnes,
mean,
tell me what
that works,
Agnes has
too.
done.
Agnes.
Alison Pill is incredible.
Yeah,
I
she
love
is.
her through the whole thing. It's absolutely crazy. And Ito Agayere was absolutely fantastic. Again, I have to say, incredible work with the hair. I
Yes.
love her braid. Incredible.
Mhm.
We have to say that about Star Trek. The hairstyles have been absolutely epic for Black women. I love everything they've done.
Mhm.
No, like obvious, very straight hair. I think they got so much slack when they straightened the Vulcan hair of of Michael Burnham that they got the memo. So I wanted to did
Fans were
say
like,
that.
never do that to Sonequa again. And they
No,
were like, you know
never.
what? Yeah, we won't.
Never. And can I go with the Easter eggs because I don't have like many opinions.
We don't do Easter eggs
Okay,
like we do
so-
Lower Deck. So yeah, go ahead, please. hit it.
So the punk, we said that.
Mhm.
Okay, the car in front of 10 Forward has SO2EO1, season 2, episode 1. And fun fact, Twitch, please correct me, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Guinan arrives in the first episode of the second season of TNG,
I think that's correct.
and in the first season of the
Yeah,
second season, first episode, second season of Picard, and I thought it was very neat.
It's all connected.
It's all
It's all
connected.
connected.
So even if it's episode 4 or whatever, Saurian brandy bottle. I have a picture with that Saurian brandy bottle, by the way.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I love Rios getting tasked. That's not an Easter egg, but that's what I wrote. When he gets out of the 10 Forward, there's a poster behind them of a boxing match, and that's a reference to the City of the Edge of Forever.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's actually a
Series,
reference to pretty much any
documentaries.
time that
They go
Star
into the
Trek
past.
goes back into the
Yeah,
past.
there's
There's
always
always
a
a
boxing
boxing
poster.
poster.
But this one is the one from that.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
very specific.
Just to interrupt real quick, there was another reference to City on the Edge of Forever, and that one of the diner that Picard and Guinan pass by has the same lettering as the one that Kirk
Ooh.
and
I didn't get this one.
Yeah.
Though,
Ooh.
wait, I have more like crazy TOS Easter eggs.
Okay.
Sanctuary District. So reference to
Yep,
past
that one.
tense. We're coming there. A second reference to past tense in the journal that Q is reading. Briner fights unionization. Unionization.
It does mean something, doesn't it?
Briner is the other guys in past tense.
Yeah.
The computer
Yeah.
dudes.
Nice.
Yep. So
It's
two
happening.
reference to past tense. So I feel it coming. I feel it coming. Give me the Cisco. And
I want to know what
Yeah.
the hell is going on.
absolutely. Yeah, Dixon Hills. We said the Palette Song, the novel written by Torm. I don't know.
Tracy Torme.
Tracy Torme. Thank you. And so at the last scene, when Q is here, like narrating whatever he's doing, they are on Jackson Roykirk Plaza. Anybody knows? Anybody
Yep.
knows where's Jackson Roykirk? Yes,
Sounds
yes.
so familiar.
TOS. I'm
It's
gonna
not
rewind.
Kirk's dad.
That change.
No, it is not. The Changeling! Yes! Is the guy that created Nomad, the changeling that wipes Uhura mind in the robot that wipes Uhura mind in the Changeling.
Mm-hmm.
I was just
So-
listening to the Duras sisters talking about that episode. Yeah.
Yep. So interesting, like some TOS callback. So I have many opinion on who is the Watcher. Many.
Mm.
Many. We're gonna say that later, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
You didn't want to talk
Okay.
about supervisors? That's not one of your Easter eggs?
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah.
that goes with my theory.
Okay,
so-
we'll still save it till later. That's fine.
It's written here. See?
It just says Gary.
Supervisor! Exclamation point! You see that?
Yeah,
Yeah. No. Yeah. They better bring me Gary 7, man.
that would be amazing.
Okay. That's it for me.
Eric,
Hi. I love this episode. I thought it was phenomenal. It was
Fun fact
shorter.
time.
Fun fact time. This was the shortest episode of the season.
So far, yeah.
And I think even the next couple episodes is still the shortest one. But action packed all the way through. I loved the 3 separate storylines. Rios getting stunned like everyone else said. Just fucking awesome. Oh my god. I like the pairing of Seven and oh my god, Raffi. They had phenomenal. Like, I love their chemistry. I liked all the stuff in the car. If you listen to Leah Thompson's interview on whatever that show is called, what's it
Ready
called?
Room.
Ready Room. They talk about how the driver's on top of the
$2
car.
patron level, $2 Patreon. Sorry.
If you sit on the driver of the car is actually on the top of it, so every time they would jolt, it would be real reactions from them. So they have a cage on the top of the car, Giraffe, where the driver sits, the actual driver of the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And didn't Leia say that like this has been outlawed in a lot of states, but it's
No,
still
the-
legal? Or
It was the pulling them from the
Right.
front is illegal
right,
now.
right.
Yeah. What else? What was the other one? Ice, we said. Picard with Guinan. I love that he immediately assumed that Guinan was the reason that they were back there to fix everything. Like, her leaving was the reason. And I think that sort of ties in with Q saying that he's so arrogant that it had to be someone he knew that was
Like
changing.
everybody on Twitter that shamed me for saying that the Watcher was menstrual and telling me it's Guinan. Don't you know it's Guinan? Well, you know what?
It would be
It is
so
not.
Getting angry.
I would have been so angry if that was the reason. Like, it's such the obvious thing that they would do that I would hate that they did that. And I'm glad they didn't. And the person that they picked for the Watcher is really interesting.
I love it.
I love it too.
Intrigue.
Much intrigue.
Much intrigue.
What was else? Who's the other thing? Girardi and the Queen. My God, they have the best rapport. They play off each other so well, and every time I see them on screen, I'm like, this is what I want to see for the rest of the episode. Just seeing them play mind games with each other, because I just love it. Because
Eric, let me ask you a question since you're on the subject right now, because I feel like you're going to agree with this, and I want to hear you go off on it. I feel like this entire episode has been a giant like, hey fans, we heard you about season 1. Here's season 2. Have fun. Would you agree with that? Especially because I know a lot of people weren't fans of Agnes in season 1.
as a fan of Agnes of season 1, I
right.
still enjoy her, but I like how smart she is with the Queen. I like that the queen is playing off her insecurities as well, and you can see that it's wearing on Girardi a bit, and you don't know how much it's gonna affect her, I guess, decisions going forward. But you know, as me and Giraffe and Brittany said, who wouldn't want to hang out with the Borg Queen for a bit, right?
We just got called out, Hawk. We just
Especially
got
in this
called
state.
out.
Do none of
It's
you
one thing if
understand?
she's, like walking around and able to just assimilate you, but like if she's just chilling,
Mhm.
I'd just chill.
I'm trying to think of what else I could say. Like, I really like the doctor that Rios is with. Like, I don't know how much she's gonna be used going forward, because I just don't know how long they're gonna stay in the past, and that's honest. Like, even with seeing a couple episodes in the future, I don't
think
know.
it's gonna be a Sarah Silverman situation where like
Everyone's gonna be like, you should
she's
bring
so
her to the
great in that
future.
episode in the past, but you don't bring her to the future. Yeah.
Wasn't Sarah Silverman actually? Didn't they want her to do it, but she decided not to?
She decided
I think
not
that
to.
was-
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. She was.
Womp womp.
Well, she was getting, I guess, big in other things,
In comedy.
comedy and whatnot, writing. And then I'm gonna go off of what Hawk said about Q. His whole scene at the end is the most intriguing thing. Like, you're sitting there wondering why he's watching this pretty girl walking down this thing. He's reading. I don't know. Was he reading the book too, or
it's called the
Yeah.
power.
No,
Newspaper, I
he's
thought.
reading
I thought it was
just
a
a
newspaper? Yeah,
She had the book.
yeah. She
Yeah.
had the book. Yeah, and
But it seemed like he was repeating the book like verbatim, like as she was reading it. You know,
or it
right
could
up
be
until
just
the
him
snap.
being monologuing
Q
like he
being
does.
Q.
It's
Yeah.
Q being Q.
Yeah. Q being Q.
I have so many theories on who she is.
Oh, yeah. The snapping is the most intriguing,
Mhm.
because you're just like,
That's
is he
unexpected. and
is he
oh so
dying? Can
unfortunate.
Q's die? Like, it's so.
They can't remember because Voyager established they.
Oh,
can't,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
because
They
one of the
can die.
Qs wanted to
Messing with
die,
his Q magic.
and he asked to be able to like get killed, and there was a whole episode of Voyager. Good,
Mhm.
good episode, by the way.
Great
Yeah,
episode
he
of
was always
Voyager,
sad.
actually.
He was like, Janeway, bone me. Take care of my kid.
It's sort of weird that Q's here, like actually interacting with people, though, right? Like, he's there, not just like
Yeah.
randomly bugging Picard. So
Yeah.
there's something. There's something he's
Like-
more
like-
hands on, which is a
But
little
we-
weird, or it looks like he's gonna be more hands on, right?
Go ahead, Draft.
Oh, sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
No, okay. So I was gonna say, remember, Q is John Luke has already deduced this, and we know from interviews with John Delancey, Q has stakes in this. Like, this is a big deal for Q. So the fact that he can't just Q himself out of the situation,
remember
I
what I
think
was
is a
gonna
very
say.
big deal. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask something, but the Q that cannot snap is that. I mean, they're all knowing and stuff, but like, has he already talked to Picard or not?
I
Yeah.
think this is the one that came
Yes.
back with him.
That's the one
Yeah.
that came back with him.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't
So-
Q just exist outside of all
So,
time? So, it's
I
always
He
thought-
does.
yeah.
Brittany's right.
Yeah,
Out of all,
that's it's like
you're
all
good.
like
yeah, he's fine.
But maybe he's
So-
stuck because he can't snap. I know I can't snap with this hand. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
but
what
then
he's
if
doing.
he's
So he
stuck,
wanted
that's
to
the
do
thing. Is that
something
if
specific,
he's
and then the
stuck,
thing
He's just using the
happens,
wrong
so
hand.
He's like, wait.
if he's stuck, is that what drives him insane and then make him look for Picard? I know they're like all everywhere at all the time, but I cannot not think of chronology somehow. Like,
This is
did
why
he go
this season is
insane?
so fucking good, though. It's
Did he
making
go
us ask
insane
all
because he
these
couldn't
questions.
snap anymore, and then he found a way, and then he found Picard, and then he wants him to undo whatever the fuck he's doing there
Mhm.
and not being able to snap? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so hard to say. I mean, I'm sure he's there for a specific reason. Dressed in like the lab coat of a Europa project and that. So obviously he's got some part to play in that. He's and I think we've seen in the trailers that he's going to be meeting somebody very important in that, and obviously influencing the direction humanity's about to go in. Personally,
I want that jacket.
Like
Yeah.
Europa a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was the first planet I ever did a project on in school.
I was just, when we were at dinner tonight, I was talking about Europa because I played Destiny 2 like a fucking
Yep.
madman.
Everyone did.
I will
The
say we don't know why he's snapping though, so I don't want to assume it's for like teleporting or whatever.
He was
Like,
listening to
he could've been
jazz.
snapping to like mess with people. like,
Riker's
mess with
not
that
there
girl.
and
He could've
someone
been
needs to do the
snapping
jazz.
like make something happen,
That's
and
right,
then
Eric.
it didn't, and that's concerning.
I think that he was snapping to do something to that girl.
100% agree.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Disappear. No. Mm.
Good?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
Chaos.
I'm good. I'm good.
Good?
I think. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right,
Oh, again,
so-
wait. Of course, all the parallels to Ice and stuff. The sanctuary cities. I like that they're bringing in the history of Trek that we'd seen in DS9. I like that there's some sort of production-wise, like they sort of feel in sync with that DS9 episode as well. Like we see a little bit of the homelessness and all the
Yeah, I don't think
shittiness
that's
of
an
LA.
accident.
Yeah,
that's not an
so
accident.
I like Giraffe said, was it last week when we were talking about how we're moving towards that DS9 event? I feel like
Yeah.
that's gonna
The Bell Riots.
There's
the Bell
so
Riot.
many hints to past
So
tense,
many.
like so many.
We're just gonna see Cisco running around and
You know what? I
If
told
they
you
do
what I
that,
want
I'll
them to
lose my
do.
shit.
I want to do a trial and tribulation of past tense, but serious one. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it
like
might happen.
easy. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what they need to
Yeah.
do.
We have the technology.
All right.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh. There are spoilers in the chat. Twitch chat.
are there?
Spoilers?
Ooh,
I
shame. Who has spoilers?
Walking
Ooh,
slowly.
curious. Oh,
Guys.
interesting. I still don't know who that is, so I'm curious how they have spoilers.
It's because Picard is on Amazon in other parts of the world, and they have X-ray, so they have character names of certain people.
yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to start at the very beginning. I took a lot of notes on this episode. The first note I have is, ouch, Raffi. Really? I can read a tricorder. Love that line. I love that line. I love that. These are all like the little fucking nerdy Star Trek things that I pick out of every episode. I love that when Picard was like, apparently Confederation ships have advanced technology, and he hits the cloak and it's the old cloaking device sound effect. I love that. The point I made earlier when we were doing our Strange Loop, just gonna leave the Borg Queen on the ship alone. We're gonna talk about that a lot in the next question, but like, come on, man. As someone who was off and on with Alison Pill, who I do love as an actor, but last season just not being written terribly well in season 1. Holy shit, is she on fire this season? Like, I love every single interaction she's been, whether it's been with the Borg Queen or just early on with Rios. She's killing it this season.
Julian,
I love her.
Is
Yes?
it safe to say that from the first episode up until where we've seen, she gets better every episode? Like that last
Yes,
episode, she's fire.
Yeah, she's fire.
I was gonna say Julian. So the first season she was a tough pill to swallow, but now you're on Borg.
Get off my
Oh
bridge.
my god.
Oh,
fair.
we needed that. She's just been. I love the line, like I mentioned earlier, when Picard points out 15, 15, 15, 15. I don't even think that's what she did the line to, but when she goes, "Look at you, Dixon Hill."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
after
I-
he figured
yeah.
that out.
I like that the divergence happens on my birthday, April 15th.
Oh shit!
And I was just sitting there, I was like, uh-oh. That's also the day the
Eric
Titanic
is the
sunk.
divergence. No, April 12th. April 12th is the Titanic.
No, they sunk at 3
April
in the morning,
14th.
April 15th in the morning. It's
14,
done.
no?
It hit the iceberg in 14. It sunk in
Yeah.
the 15.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
I learned this.
Look at you
This
with
is
the cool
Alright.
historical.
And,
I love the Titanic.
I love the Titanic so much.
Okay, so I was talking about
The
this. with Karen.
divergence is tax day.
I am gonna go into a couple of future episodes because this isn't spoilers, but this just has to do with Patrick Stewart's performance this season. Going from last season to this season, you could just tell immediately in these first 4 episodes and even later on that like he's having fun. Like he's back into being the character of Jean-Luc Picard. His acting is better. He's more energetic. I feel like they just worked him so hard to come back, and they gave him a story that was okay enough for him to come back that he was like, okay, I'll do this. And last season was kind of depressing. This is just a fun season, and that you can tell in every single episode, Patrick Stewart is having the time of his life, and that just makes me really happy as a fan, and to see him being able to like do that Patrick Stewart Picard that we kind of have come to love over the past however many, like 20, 30 years. It really warms my heart because I know so many of us were expecting that from last season and didn't quite get that. And then to see him just really come back into the role full swing this season has been so much fun.
I wonder how much of that was because he's supposed to be dying in the first season. Like, did he have to play it less because he's like, oh, I'm getting old and I'm getting a little crazy.
Right.
Now he's
in the
like
burn.
energetic body.
Yeah, now I'm a golem.
Right. Voyage Home. Punk rock guy. Oh,
He looks
same guy,
great.
Same
character.
guy.
He looks good.
great. Looks great. Awesome. Love it. Love that he was just like, okay, I'm really sorry.
And he's
I
holding
just
his
love the
neck. He's like,
song,
oh.
man. He wrote that song. He wrote the song for Voyage Home. He edited the lyrics for this episode. It's really cool. Love it. It's so good. I don't remember why I made this note, even though I watched the episode twice. Oh yeah, no. It's me being sarcastic to myself. That's a great idea. Leave Agnes alone with the Borg Queen. Again, going back to leaving the Borg Queen and then coming back and leaving her alone while Picard transports away. Great
The
idea.
only way you get good scenes, though.
Borg-
Yeah, true.
You
Board
gotta
games.
be alone together.
Board games.
2
10
women,
forward.
1 room.
If I got goosebumps when we saw 10 forward again. 7. Driving a car. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh no, about 10 forward. They were talking about it on the Ready Room that the actor was talking with the production designer. And they're like, and they actually made the bar look like it was owned by a black woman in now times. Like she wanted it to feel authentic. And hats off to the production team of Picard for doing that. They didn't have to, but they did it.
No, they did. They did really well. Yeah.
We lost Giraffe again.
All right. Well. Oh, she.
Hello?
There
you go.
she is.
Oh.
I've been talking by myself for like the past 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I was like, hey,
Everyone's ignoring you.
hey. And I'm like, they're ignoring me more than usual. Oh, my mic is off.
Did you have something you wanted to say
Kelvin verse, so
before
we
I
just-
go
I
off anymore?
forgot now. I don't know. I had something very smart and very intelligent to say.
Obviously.
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 Well, I'm gonna get into this, which is the hard part. As I make clear, and I like to make references. I'm a Jew. I'm a bad Jew, but I'm a Jew. And I know that we've had some discussions with people on our Discord server and how this can be difficult for some people to watch. Anything with ICE during the season so far has been really difficult to watch. Especially if you lived in this country during 4 years of Donald Trump, and if you were like me and obsessed over the news, especially during a pandemic, you saw these cages, and it's not even like a dramatic, representation of what they look like. That's what those cages look like. And it's hard to see. It's hard to see for anybody who's had to deal with ICE and been deported or been threatened with deportation. It's hard to see as a Jew who had family die in concentration camps and had people in his family, escape. My great grandfather died in a concentration camp, and my grandfather escaped. Luckily, it's hard. It fucking sucks. And sorry.
It's hard to see something that has happened in the States before and happening
Right.
again. Right?
And that is still happening.
And it's happening.
It's still
I
happening.
wanted
It's
to say
happening.
that. It's
Yeah.
been happening for like 20 years, and
Yeah.
it's still happening to this day.
even longer
so,
than that, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you look
Yeah.
at George
Well, I mean,
Takei's,
ICE
like,
itself.
oh yeah, it's fair.
Like, yeah, because
And-
trust me, way before that.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
worse.
And I just want to say, like, it's a really big deal. Like, and I appreciate that Picard is having the balls to show this in their series and kind of just once again show that, like, if you haven't been watching Star Trek, or if you have been, and if you haven't known that this is what Star Trek's been about, then you've just gotten the wrong idea, or if you've been living under a rock, because these are really important things to show, and Star Trek has always been at the forefront of showing injustice in the world. And I as hard as it was to see, it was also it's important, and it sucks seeing those cages because they're real, but it's important. So
And like tying that with Guinan's like being tired with humanity because of everything that they've been doing to not just the planet but to each other. Man, this episode was really it hit home, man. It hit
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
I
hit
like
the
that
heart.
she
and it
said,
was-
like, he was like, well, it'll just take a little longer. And she's like, yeah, longer is something that people like you,
Like you look-
like
thank
you
you,
have.
look like
It's
you,
like
yes.
people like me
I
don't have
wrote it
longer.
down. I wrote
Yeah.
it down. And
It's a very good line.
Yeah.
it's a great
Because
line.
he's like, change takes a while. Ugh.
Taking a little bit lighter note, Impractical Jokers, Quinn, Q, taking Luna, I love seeing him. I love Impractical
Giraffe,
Jokers.
you got it?
Yes, I got it.
Read
I-
it aloud for the class.
And just going back to what we were just talking about, seeing Guinan just not in the right headspace.
Mhm.
You know, it's a testament to what's going on right now. Draft, is there something?
She was just gonna read the quote.
Oh, I'm
If you
sorry.
wrote it
Go ahead,
down.
Draft. Please read the quote.
I don't have the luxury of patience. Sorry. The luxury. She's speaking about the luxury of patience. Someone who looks like you and not like me. So, and I was telling you that I was just talking with somebody in Atlanta that was telling me it's good to have patience when progress is made.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
progress is not being made, don't come and tell people to be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And then she said, in this century, they took off the hood and put up the suit.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that a
so
lot.
good.
That was a great line. It was a
Yeah.
great line.
See, little book of magic.
I love your book.
If you watch Ready Room, again, I'm going to say Ready Room was amazing. They talked to the actress who played Guinan, and she was saying that when she read the sides, like when she was auditioning, she was crying from it. Like, that's,
Yeah.
wow.
Speaking of crying, Picard hasn't made me cry yet. It did this episode. When Picard said to Guinan, as Guinan's like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving," and he goes, "My name is Jean-Luc Picard. In 400 years, you will be my closest and my oldest and longest friend." I don't know why, with everything else that was so like emotional for me, that got me. I don't know if it's because TNG was like my comfort blanket growing up, but this is just such an important line for Star Trek, you know, and finally like him just being like, I'm putting all my cards on the table and I'm trusting you to help me in the situation. That I started tearing up a lot. I love that moment. It's my favorite moment from this episode. So
I want to know why she reacts to the name Picard when she doesn't know.
Dun, dun.
Is it timey-wimey stuff again? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, there's that connection. Like, it transcends time. I'm going to say that.
That connection does transcend time.
Like,
That's
that's-
true.
that's
not
amazing.
All
even-
good friendships do.
They do.
Bullshit me.
Let's start right at the beginning of this episode, right? Because Agnes is cold. It's cold on a starship. It's very cold in space. Thank you, Mr. Khan. Jean-Luc suggests that they go get warm inside the now abandoned Chateau Picard. Is it really a good idea? I'll let you guys finally answer this question. To leave the Borg Queen of all people, collective or no collective, alone on the ship.
It's Star Trek. They do that shit all the
Such a
time.
bad idea.
Yeah.
All the time. Have you seen their spaceship? Like nobody thinks in terms of like risk management in that show.
Yeah.
Like all the time. All the fucking time. And then like something happens and like basically no reaction. Is like,
Yeah.
you guys should be
And they're
panicking
like,
right now.
How could we have prevented this?
Oh.
You're like literally like
Oh.
20,000 options you could have prevented this.
By the way, I'm reading Red Shirts right now, the book.
Oh.
Mhm.
Have you read it?
Not yet.
I know
Not
of
yet.
it, but I haven't read it.
Yeah, John Scalzi, right? Something like this. And like this is the whole premise. It's like, why is nobody reacting the way they should be reacting? This makes no sense. So yeah. That's my answer. Star
I
Trek.
mean, I assume they closed the ship and wouldn't let her out, right? Like, she can still move around. Like, she's not just stuck.
Can she? Because like
thought she
really,
cannot.
She's the one who put
No.
herself up. I'm assuming that
She
she
did.
could.
She put
No.
herself up. She did in episode 3. She was
Yeah.
like, "Allow me." And she's
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
boom, boom,
but
boom, boom,
she
boom.
was dying and Agnes connected with her, right? And she restored only some things. She's not working well. That's why she's trying to convince Agnes to be assimilated.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
that's
gotta
true.
I'm,
That's
occasionally
true.
let her go for a walk, you know? It's like having a pet, you know? You just,
I'm gonna
Relax.
go into next episode territory because this isn't a spoiler
no.
anymore. No, this isn't a spoiler anymore because it was shown in the Ready Room. We've now seen already that the Borg Queen has the ability to access LA's fucking like radio network.
Not
And-
not Ellie, France.
Okay.
Right? Because she's in.
It sounded English though. I felt like she was connected to LA,
See,
even though
that's
she
the
was
thing.
France.
The,
Aren't they
the-
in France?
She's still They are in France. You're 100%
The
right.
coordinates. The coordinates are wrong.
But the coordinates are in LA, so I don't know.
Either
They're
way,
in LA, but
she
she's in France.
managed in this clip from next week's episode on the Ready Room to be able to hear all voices at once, like the Borg like to have that collective. So she's not incapable, right? Like you're leaving a somewhat capable Borg queen alone on a ship by herself.
Wait. But Agnes gave her access to help the transporter, and then
She
she's
did
like,
indeed.
"I cut your access." I was like, "Agnes, girl, do you know that woman over there that's hanging? Like, I'm sure she kept something open. She
She
figured
unplugged
something
one plug and was like,
out.
I took the power cord out.
Yeah, it's like very
there's
like
a
lower
Windows
deck
tab
with like
open.
I
the
have 5 HDMI cables, girl.
yeah. It's so I'm pretty sure something got messed up in the process.
I will say though, I don't watch the Ready Room, so like that is still a spoiler for me. So.
Yeah, I
I never
didn't
see
see
the.
either.
I think it was
I
on the
never had time
trailer
to
as
see
well.
the trailers and
Yeah.
stuff.
All
Yeah.
right.
I
Well,
didn't see it.
spoiler alert.
Just moving
Sorry.
forward.
Moving forward.
It happens with a lot of shows where like at the end there'll be like a promo depending on where you watch
Okay,
it or
can
stream
I-
it, and I don't always see it.
Can I answer something on Twitch? Yeah, I know
for-
the
wait,
coordinates
so-
are in LA
okay.
for the Watcher, but before they crash, you see the coordinate where Picard is crashing the plane,
Yeah.
the spaceship,
And it's
I'm
in
tired.
France. Yeah.
And these coordinates are in LA too, but they're supposed to be in France.
Yeah.
So that's
Fair.
why.
But
I'm
are they in the
talking about
right
it.
region of France, Giraffe?
Is what Giraffe is trying to say. Hawk, I know you've been trying to say something.
They're all very actually, yeah. They've, I was thinking like, oh, Girardi locked her out of ships, functions and that. It's fine, don't worry. And then I was thinking the only reason she hasn't taken the ship at this point is because her motivations have changed, and that she's no longer just interested in the ship, and that she's interested in Girardi.
Mm-hmm.
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 What?
She's very interested in Girardi and is very, very mad when Girardi totally
Ignores her.
reneges on her
Just
deal.
ghosts her.
Yeah, totally ghosts her. Speaking of Borg, Raffi and Seven, their stolen squad car moment, which is just
You love to see it.
Brittany's right though. Like you love to see this, right? What do we think about buddy cop Raffi and Seven going up against the police?
I would watch a whole series of these two just like on the run. They could be Thelma and Louise for all I care. Like that would just be amazing. I love that.
Hopefully it doesn't end this badly.
No, hopefully not. I like that Seven. How they're like you can fly a spaceship but you can't drive a car. Like that was such a funny moment, and I loved it so much. Their rapport's so good. I like that she drove down a one-way street. That made me laugh. Oh my god, this whole thing is so good.
And I do suggest that if you haven't yet, you download and purchase the book. It's not a book, actually. I should say audio novella, No Man's Land, written by Kristen Beyer. And I always forget the other because Kristen Beyer is awesome. And I always forget the other author, Mike Johnson. A really good audio drama. It's not actually an audiobook. So 90 minutes of your time, it's like listening to a Star Trek episode, goes into the backstory of Raffi and Seven, which if you've listened to that, makes the scene, I would say, even better. But continue. Thoughts on this moment?
Brittany.
The thoughts on Seven and Raffi? They're gone. No. I just love all of it. Every minute of their shenanigans together. Like they're just perfect. And like I said, I could watch a whole spin-off series of them just doing adventures.
I feel like them saying that computer systems are all connected in this century is going to be really important for the rest of the season, right? I'm like,
That's the
I
way
would
of
agree
I'm
with
like the
that.
Borg's
Yeah.
going to
Hey,
just
weird
Yeah.
take
sci-fi
over
shit we
everything.
do.
Yeah,
This is why.
Imagine that's how like
all that.
First Contact actually happens, like the movie, and instead of going to when the
Vulcans, it's the
Phoenix
Borg touching
goes,
everything.
they just go back to 2024 when humanity's at its worst, and they just fucking assimilate them then because why the hell not?
By the way, she's separated from the hive in the future where they're all dead, but right now she could totally be, hey.
Well, they said the communications wasn't working
I love
well,
you, like,
right?
"Hey, who, eh,
Yeah.
True. Yep. Eric's right. Yep.
hello."
Hello.
Knock, knock.
Hello. Bonjour.
Hello? Bonjour.
Somewhere in the Delta Quadrant.
We-
Cube
By the way,
rattles.
I feel like more terrible French is gonna come my way
It is.
and I don't want that because now they're like, oh, it's Shadow Picard, we're in France, and I'm like, fuck, please.
They don't need to
do that
keep going back.
me. Just
I don't
like,
need to
ugh.
know about his past.
It's gonna be some terrible French, like bonjour, you know, like Brad Pitt in like buongiorno, and I just don't want that. Please, I don't
Like,
want this.
Edith Piaf is cool, but I still feel like that's just like not like
Can you
like, you
imagine?
hear it, but it's not like you're in a French family and you just listen to that all the time.
No?
Like, you imagine in the 24th century, they're still like, oh, I'm gonna use Edith Piaf
Yeah,
to give
Edith
life
Piaf,
lesson
and
to
you're
my
just
kid.
like-
What?
Well, they dressed like they're
That
from the
song-
World War
1920s,
II,
so
maybe like I don't know.
That song is exactly like what happened with Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, and that it just got used in too many
Yeah.
media formats and
I
that.
could
And
go
it's
a
like,
Look at
decade
it-
without hearing
Look at
just
that.
needs to be
you,
a
Justice
moratorium.
League.
oh, that was
Oh man.
That
I
was
mean,
my, I get
yeah.
why, but
We,
if it's not Shrek, I don't want it.
of course, Brittany's last show goes off the rails. I love this episode
Hey,
so
you're
much
welcome.
already. We've already talked a lot about Rios being stuck in ICE detention center, but listen, we see more of what we've already seen in real life, and I know we've kind of gone in depth about this already, but human beings, not immigrants, not Hispanics or any other refugees, people, human beings. It doesn't matter what fucking color you are. Human beings stuck in fucking cages, put in there by our government. It's hard to see. What do
One
we-
of them is a citizen too.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
one
was
of
gonna
them
say,
is a citizen.
lot of
Very
them tend to
important
be
note.
citizens.
Yes.
And they'll deport citizens too.
I we talked about this, but we didn't really ask this question. How do we feel about just like, I guess, how real ICE was portrayed here, and how Rios tried to maybe kind of cool the situation down with his comedy? Does the comedy work? Is it necessary? Is it the right move here, or how do we feel about these scenes?
I think for such heavy moments, the comedy didn't it didn't seem off, right? It felt
didn't
felt
mar
right. Yeah.
It didn't detract from the heavy
Yeah,
moments. It
exactly.
added to it.
I
Yeah.
think it reminds us too that Rios has no cultural context for what the fuck is happening to him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he knows, he understands, but he's just like, it cannot be that bad. I mean, like, they're a bunch of assholes, but what are they gonna do? I don't think he has like a real view and understanding of what is going to happen again.
Yeah.
What?
Like
Yeah.
a primitive.
Oh,
he's
you
like,
hear me?
this is
Yeah, we
just
can.
Oh, okay.
primitive racist. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
I-
have nothing to worry about. But
yeah,
it's like,
I-
yeah,
oh
you
wait,
kind of
maybe it's mine.
No, yeah, Hawk was like, I don't hear you, and I was like, what again?
Oh,
No, you're
sorry, I
good.
think it was my. I think it might be my connection.
It's you, it's not me. Yeah, and I do like the humor too because it gives you an idea. I like the fact that Rios has no like he's not computing what is really
Right.
happening because it's so crazy to him that he understands but he doesn't compute, if that
Mhm.
makes any sense. And that's why he's joking. He's like, whatever. He doesn't expect the taser to, when every single one of them expect to be tased, but he's just like, ugh. So
It's
I
just an
like it.
extreme to get to from just stop talking.
Being a
Right?
captain in Starfleet to
Yeah.
going to being in an ice cage, and I do want to ask that question on top of this. You would have to assume that in school in the 23rd, 24th century, they would learn about this kind of Earth history, and it would definitely be a talking point in Starfleet where time travel is a thing. Like, no, go ahead, Draft.
So okay, you know how we know about like the witch trials,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for example. Okay, you get transported there. Okay, imagine, like, it's totally impossible to compute that somebody is gonna
Yeah.
throw you into fire because they think you're a witch.
Great point.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, you
Or they're
fucking
gonna
kidding
throw
me?
you into
Like,
water. If
come
you
on,
drown,
like-
oops, we were wrong.
like,
If
you really
live, you're a
think
witch.
Yeah.
I like have superpowers? Why the fuck would I be in a cage if I had superpower? Like, it's so insane that you're just like, this is not going to happen for real. This is not happening for real. And I've been in situation in other countries where, they're like, oh, there's gonna be a coup. Oh, the army is in the street. And you just like keep like being, this is not
Yeah.
happening for real.
Mhm.
This is not possible because we're so sheltered, to be
Right.
honest,
Yeah.
that when it happens, you're just like, you understand what's going on because you've been to school, right? But you cannot imagine that somebody's gonna try to shoot at your face, And I think we're very lucky to be able to have this disconnection of thing,
Mhm.
and I see it in Rios when he's just like being, hey, don't talk to him like that. It's like, yeah, nobody's opening their mouth because they're getting tasked and they're getting beat up. So I think it's great. I think it's a great writing for the character.
I also think, based on, like you were saying, don't they learn about it in the future? I believe in DS9 they were saying that this point in time, up until the riots in the World War III, all the records most of them were lost.
Fair. Yeah,
so,
they were. Yeah,
so they might not even know really what's happening at this point.
Right.
They just know it's a shady, dark area in our
Mhm.
past. But yeah, I agree that I think it was done well, and I mentioned that when I was talking about my views on the episode, and then it makes sense for Rios' character. So it does it in a way that it doesn't detract from anything emotional about it or the serious nature of what's happening. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. I think the dialogue was pretty much apt for the situation, that because pretty much Rios knew at that moment he could tell this guard pretty much anything in that, and he's not going to believe it in that because this guy was not interested in hearing other people's opinions.
Yeah,
it goes back to that thing that Guinan says in the episodes, and that facts aren't facts anymore.
Yeah,
and Takako on Twitch brings up a great point. I think knowing it in your head and experiencing it viscerally are completely different, which is
absolutely.
a really great point.
You can study something your whole life, and then if you're put in the middle of it, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even depending on where you are, you could be in a similar situation in two different places and experience different things. Like, I've lived in America during terrorist attacks. When I was studying abroad in France, I was literally in Paris like an hour before the terrorist attack happened. So like, You have different experiences depending on where you are, and the thing is, different people also react different ways. So culturally, it's two very different experiences I've had in my life.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Q. Mr. Q. Well, Mon Capitan, the trial never ends, but apparently Q's on a bit of a trial himself. His powers are not working.
I want to know.
No snappity snap.
Who's fucking over Q? I just want to know.
Q's doing it to himself. It's just performance anxiety.
Like Spider-Man.
But we've seen Q like this before in that. Remember when the Continuum took away his powers and that made him mortal and vulnerable in that. So there,
but he knew.
Yeah, he knew it. But
yeah, when he tried to snap, he was like, "That's unfortunate," and
maybe he's doing something against the Q.
He's just like, "Oops."
Yes.
Maybe he ran out of fuel.
I don't think Q's.
He went to the past pre-Q.
He has to go to his lantern, his green lantern. And,
he has to go plug into the local Elon Musk Tesla charge center to get his Q back.
Maybe he's sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, John Luke says, "Q, you look unwell."
Yeah, but I thought he was unwell in his head, which
right. His eyes were very bloodshot too, though.
Drugs.
So,
maybe he just runs off of the energy of annoying the shit out of Picard. So he's like, "Damn, I've been away from Picard too long. He's got to go back and just recharge."
Yeah.
I hope it's somebody or something.
Oh, I do too. I really do. I hope it's. I hope there's someone or something. Where the fuck are the Klingons?
It's the Remans.
It's the Remans. Finally, guys, this episode is. I think this episode belongs to Picard. I think it's one of the strongest performances from Patrick Stewart this season, but I would say probably an even stronger performance finding a young Guinan at 10 Forward who's been on Earth for some time, as Elorians do, listening. These scenes are so good, and I'm going to butcher the name, so someone please help me with the pronunciation of Guinan's actor.
Ito Agayere.
Ito Agayere played. She just.
Am I right?
Yeah,
I think you're right. She played Guinan so well. Like, holy crap! I loved her. What do we think of these scenes? And finally, this is kind of two questions. One, Picard finally meeting. Sorry, not meeting. Meeting.
I have a meeting.
Meeting, Alex, for 500. Picard meeting the Watcher, aka Laris, not Laris.
No ears, man. No ears.
No ears in this episode. Go off. What do we think? What's going on?
I don't know. I have a feeling that whoever the Watcher is probably tailored themselves to after somebody in that Picard would recognize and have affection for, and that.
But he came back in time. Like, I feel like the Watcher was there already, watching.
If it's a supervisor.
Yeah.
But we've
And-
seen like just a small bit of their power in that, like mind hopping in that, just to make sure he wasn't being tailed
was
in that. So
incredible.
Okay. Let me go off in assignment Earth first of all.
Yep.
okay,
So, right, I mean, supervisors. Like everybody has seen that episode, Gary 7. They travel through time, right? They have insane technology that like even the Federation like doesn't really understand. He has something like a personal transporter, which is like insane too. And Isis, the name the cat is Isis, right?
I think the cat is Isis. Yeah.
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 And the cat is a person that is a cat, so there's like some like ways like to transform or like
Catra.
be somebody else and so on. So like the white eyes when I saw the white eyes, I was like, Gary Mitchell.
The amount of times that that I've heard you in text and on chat say Gary Mitchell, I'm just like, girl.
I was like, Gary Mitchell,
Wait,
Mitchell.
maybe Strange New Worlds, but come on, let's.
But then like they talk about the supervisors and like I don't know. I'm going on this.
Hey, you want to know who had a supervisor?
Whoa.
Jordy.
Jordy LaForge. Got you.
Get off my bridge.
But yeah, I want to know. I think the white eyes thing is just a technological thing. I don't think it's.
You don't think it's a psychic type thing?
I think they kind of already said that in this episode. Like they're just using them as
Oh, yeah.
hosts,
As vessels.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
you've never been
vessels.
possessed and your eyes
Vessels.
just roll back a little bit? Like,
A temporary
Sometimes.
host.
It's normal.
Temporary.
Sometimes.
host.
Weekends.
But I think it's technological. I don't think it's like a superpower.
Maybe.
You know what I
you
mean?
haven't lost whole
Yeah,
hours of
probably.
your life before? Weird.
And by the way, sorry, what?
I don't even remember
I was
2003.
just making a joke about being possessed.
The little girl was incredible.
She was so
She
good.
was
She was
incredible.
She was so creepy. She's like, oh,
When she turned back to
Like
her
when she
regular
came out
self,
of it,
yes, and she was like, "Oh, creepy man talking
Okay.
to me."
I know.
Weird.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was good acting for that little kid. What the fuck? Give the Oscar.
Anything else on Guinan and also the Watcher / not Larice?
I would love the Watcher to actually be connected to Gary 7. I think if they actually,
Shiraz losing her goddamn mind.
like if she talks about other Watchers on Earth and
supervisors.
Gary just their supervisors and Gary comes up and just passing, I think that would be awesome.
Hey, you know how long I've been obsessed that they show off something from Assignment Earth? I've been at it.
Didn't
literally
you
for
make us
2
watch this
seasons.
episode in a watch
Yes.
along on
So
It's a good
I made
episode.
everybody
Yeah.
watch that episode on the watch along because since season 3 of Discovery, the cat was not a cat, and I'm like,
Guess
Grudge
what?
is Gary
Grudge is just
7.
Grudge.
It's Gary
Grudge is the
7's
fucking queen.
cat.
That's it.
And
Go,
so yeah,
sorry. You've
go ahead, on. Go ahead.
no.
Alternate theory, probably not true, but I'll throw it out there anyways. In that the word guardian was mentioned in that
Guardian
in connection
Angel.
with
Yeah,
or guardian of forever.
yeah, absolutely. I
Oh,
thought of
I
that
hope
too.
they don't
Giorgio.
do that again.
It's fucking Giorgio.
I hope it's Giorgio. Just kidding.
I thought
Um,
that too, but like Larry's looks like too much like an agent.
What if this
why not?
Watcher turns
All
into
agents.
Laris?
I mean,
Like
section
this
three.
is like
Yeah.
this is her first form. Then she hits
This
9,000.
isn't even my final form.
Yeah.
Listen, all good sci-fi series have some form of Watcher. Okay, you had the bald dudes from Fringe with their little suitcases.
Oh, I love
You
them.
have
The bald guys from
Watchers,
Marvel.
literally from Marvel. The other bald guys are always creepy bald guys with like white eyes. Let's be honest here. Like, who
Laris
watches
is gonna
The
take off her
Watchmen?
hair.
You
She's
never
gonna
found out.
she's gonna be bald.
Yeah. If Laris ends up being bald, I called it first.
I mean, okay, let's be honest. Do I really think they're gonna do a callback
Let's
to
be
Assignment
honest.
Earth? I don't think so. I don't think they have the balls to pull that
I think they do. That'd be
I think
amazing.
they
That
do. I think they do.
insane
We'll see.
episode that was
We'll
supposed
see.
to be like a new series, by the way. You remember that?
Yep.
Like
That
when you
episode
thought
was a
that
bad episode of Star Trek.
it's a
I'm just
terrible
saying.
episode.
But they
Can we
re-edited
say
it,
too?
right? Didn't they re-edit it and make it a Star Trek episode because it was supposed to be a pilot?
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was supposed
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
like it was getting cancelled, and Roddenberry was freaking out, so he made that episode so he could like spin off another
never
series,
happened.
and it
And-
never happened. And
NYRLA
don't say
brings
so.
up a great point. Terry Garr is still alive, so Roberta Lincoln cameo would be very cool.
Amazing.
So, hey.
Pink orange dress.
Let's see. We'll see what happens.
I love that episode. I love
Guys,
it. And it's the worst hat that Spock has ever worn in any episode of anything. Sorry, I'm done.
you know two things judging by this episode. It's Brittany's last episode, and it's also a great episode of Star Trek because we are so over time. So let's get
it's not
to
because of me.
not because of Brittany. Let's get to our rating out of 10 bottles of 1905. 1905?
15.
1915.
Yeah, that makes
I'm an
sense.
idiot. I got the 5 right. 9.
And you know when we didn't do a lot of wine? During the First World War. That's not when we did a lot of wine. Whatever.
1915 Pinot Noir. Let's go in the order of the top of the show. Brittany, your rating for this episode.
I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 Pinot Noir bottles because it was gay as hell, it was great as hell, but they didn't beat the shit out of ICE officers yet. So I'm
That's fair.
rescinding my 10 out of 10.
That's fair.
Although it is a very good episode, and maybe because it is my final episode, I should just say 10 out of 10.
I mean, it's a great episode, so you do what you want to do, but I think you
Okay,
gave it a
I'll
fair
say
rating.
10 out of 10 because I really did love it.
ICE officers
But
not
I
being
could have
beaten
been
with
even better
standing. Yeah.
If you could just beat the shit out of them. Tase that dude. Tase that dude right
Tase
back.
him. Tase him.
Phase him.
Phase him. Even better.
There you go.
But not
Hawk.
in the nice stun way, you know?
Not in the nice stun way. No.
Disruptors?
Just disintegrate.
I'm like,
Butterflies,
I don't
butterflies.
condone violence much.
So many butterflies in this episode.
So many. Hawk, your rating.
10 out of 10 for all the things that we talked about in this episode and how well and balanced it was and how well they actually tackled the subjects. So, 10 out of 10.
Love it. Giraffe.
9.5. I want it's missing a cat and Isa Briones. Now it's time. It's time. Come on. So yeah,
Yeah.
9.5.
Eric.
10 out of 10. Love this
better.
episode. Phenomenal. The whole thing. Just love it.
Damn it. Brittany and Hawk and Eric are. All of you have actually fucking ruined my score. I don't know what to do.
You're going to be like, 1
No.
million.
God, no. I was going to be between a 9.5 out of 10. Now my mind is like, what the fuck do I do? I'm with Hawk. 9.5 out of 10. This season of Picard has been
And
fucking amazing.
Giraffe,
But,
yeah.
oh, sorry. Giraffe, you gave it
I said
9.5
10.
too? I thought you gave it a 9.
I said 10.
Sorry. Oh, wait,
10.
fuck. I don't know. Y'all are confusing me.
He's
Shit.
not listening
Many
to
numbers.
us.
It's okay.
Well, that's because your mic was unplugged for like 2/3 of the show. Kidding.
No,
I
it's
love you.
not true.
Oh.
Throwing shade. I love
It's
you,
okay,
Giraffe.
Giraffe. I still love you.
I
Technical
don't know who
issues
gave
aside.
it 10 and who gave it 9.5, but I'm gonna go with 9.5. There's Eric.
10.
9.5 out of 10. The season has been so fucking good. I can't wait for the next, however, what are we, 4-6 episodes left? Can't wait. So good, guys.
Oh,
Subspace.
there's some.
Oh yes, some ratings. Who would like
Yeah.
to read the Twitch ratings?
Ooh, yeah.
Haven said 8. Walking Slowly said 8. Still deceased Elnor is breaking my heart. That's fair.
Anakin,
NY
you're
Raw.
breaking my heart.
NY Rawlight
You're
wrote
taking me down a path I can't follow.
8 out of 10 because there's still a lot. We don't know yet a lot of where the plots with Q, the Watcher, are going. I can only raise it to a 9 at the end of the season. That's fair.
Oh, okay, fair.
Did I miss anyone? 888.
No, but I really want to know what Anakin's next line is in Revenge of the Sith.
I don't
The
even
Jedi
know.
betrayed me. Don't you betray me? Let her go, Anakin. Sorry, this is not an Obi-Wan show. Guys, it
Yet.
is time. Yet.
Oh, I hate you.
That could still change. It is time for the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
And we asked Trek Twitter what they thought about Picard episode 204 Watcher. And they said, Brittany, you get to do all the fun things because it is your last episode. So read our
Very
poll.
well.
Also, would you like to challenge me on any of my
yes.
puntastic answers?
I didn't think of
Sure.
any when I was watching the episode. But let's see if they come to me now. So, 50% said 10 out of 10 forward. Ooh, that's a good one.
Thanks.
I'd make that. I'd watcher it.
Okay.
38% said like a fine Pinot Noir. I don't know. 38% said unforgettable. 9%
Okay.
said hit the brakes. Well, I'm doing this all on the spot, okay? I didn't.
They know it works.
Hit the brakes. 9% said should have been left on ice.
Oh.
Okay, so hold on. I was gonna make that same exact one and decided not to make ice jokes because of
Yeah,
the
but I'm
sensitivity.
live. This people
That's
don't
fair.
remember.
That's fair. Okay.
Just kidding.
fair
This
enough.
will be showing up on YouTube later, so you can yell at me then. But to be fair, I told Ice in person to fuck off, so I think I earned the joke.
Fair. I accept that.
6% said transporters are down. 6% said, what do I want to say for my final joke?
Do 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 do.
6% said I need sanctuary. ... Towns.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's go back to. We'll go in. How many mailbags are there? I just won't do one. Let's go in reverse order. Eric, could you take?
Ensign Davies wrote, I'm glad Gaiden isn't the Watcher. Yeah. And I have no idea what's going on with who we met at the end. Not being an American, is this an accurate portrayal of immigration?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
We're all like,
Yes. Foreigner in America, hello.
And giraffe. Yep.
and still confirm.
I love the Queen. Again, I think Agnes is playing with fire there. Like the episode, can't wait for next week. I agree.
Boom.
Next
Love
week,
it.
man. Next week.
Next week, giraffe. Take SMKs.
Smook wrote, I thought the Jurati Borg Queen piece was my favorite part of the episode. The Picard is from France. Picard is from England. Redcon made me laugh out loud. And hopefully we can put that one to bed. I will never.
Nope, it's to bed. I was
No,
actually going to mention
He
this
can't go
earlier.
to bed because Picard keeps waking up in the middle of the night and needs his mom to play fucking Edith Piaf for him. Get it?
Murdering of my culture. Finally,
It's
I
bad.
love the return of the edge of etiquette. What?
I don't know.
The
Is
Age
that
of
the name of the
Tomorrow?
song?
The city of the Age of Tomorrow?
Maybe.
Or I don't know.
No.
No, it might be.
I think it's that
Oh
dude.
no, it's the name
The
of the
punk
song that I can't remember his first name, but
The
Kirk.
punk
His
dude.
actual last name is Kirk, or his first name is Kirk. Wrote the song for Voyage.
The punk
Home
song.
and- The punk song. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the punk
Whoa,
song,
that
yep.
was sorry, SMK. Finally, I love the return of the Age of Etiquette, and I'm glad they are still recording punk music 38 years later.
Hell yeah.
Punk
And
never
recording it,
dies.
apparently.
That's right. Hawk, can you take L's, please?
L wrote, so has Laris just been playing Picard, pretending to have been a Romulan so she could accomplish her Watcher agenda?
That's fair.
Like
Was she really a member of the Tal Shiar? Did Shaban know?
Devon dead, so we don't know.
Can't they do both?
She offed him
Why not both?
because he knew.
Indeed. And Brittany, can you take Jessica's, please?
Jessica. Jessica wrote, I'm loving the tension and connection between the Borg Queen. I love the way I read that. Between the Borg Queen and Agnes. Poor Rios. I know that if he could, he'd do so much good. At first I laughed at the Ferengi face joke, but then I remembered that by now, Nog is likely a lieutenant at least, and many other Ferengi have followed in his footsteps and joined the Federation. Do they all face this kind of backhanded prejudice? Yes, the species as a whole has poor roots, but I don't hear them going, "Oh, you angry Andorian." As a root comment.
They give shit to Vulcans all the time, though.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, Vulcans get all the jokes.
That's
But
'cause
what
Vulcans
happens
are
when you're the
a-holes.
first contact, you're gonna be the first joke, and the last one. I don't know. It kind of rubbed me wrong just for where we are in the timeline. Otherwise, a very enjoyable episode, but episode 3 remains my favorite of the season so far.
Nice. Agreed. Haven finally wrote another episode where if you blink, you miss stuff, like I missed the England reference on my first watch. And yes, Giraffe, we're putting that to bed. He's half English, half French, hence
He's
no
not
accent.
half English.
Okay.
He's English
With a little
with,
bit of
like,
French.
vaguely a French
lived
history.
in
They said
A
they went
tiny bit
back
of
to
French.
France.
like 400 years before.
Fair. Well, we know his family's in the chateau at this
But
point,
like
so he
back
did
during
go
the
back
Magna
to
Carta,
France. Yeah.
my family was vaguely French for a day.
This episode flew by at warp 10. I didn't. Well, there's no lizard babies, so I didn't expect to see a variant of Guinan, but I think it makes sense since there was the episode where Guinan and Picard first meet. And Data loses his head. He does indeed. This episode was enjoyable, but more was a connection episode. Did I read that right?
Yep.
Was enjoyable, but more was a connection episode.
But it was more.
A
It
connect.
was more a
okay,
connection
I got it.
episode, I feel.
Indeed. Good stuff. Guys, we have done it. This has been a very on topic episode. We've gone long.
very
And it's not a bad
chaotic
thing.
ending.
I like that though. This has been a very important episode of Star Trek Picard. That being said, it is the end. And you know what? Brittany, you're taking this out tonight. The whole thing. Final words, take us out of the whole entire pod. Do your thing. It's your show. The con is yours.
Thank you everyone for tuning into this very special episode of Strange New Pod. Every episode is special though because you lovely people are here listening. And while this may be my final live show, you'll hear from me eventually. So remember to love each other and live long and prosper. Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.